Hello, I'm Lara Kulchersan and this is Newsfeed, your dose of what people are talking about online. We begin our show in Amsterdam, where dozens of pro-Palestinian demonstrators were detained by police on Sunday. A 3-day ban on protests had been imposed after Thursday's unrest, caused by Maccabi Tel Aviv football hooligans attending a Europa League game against Ajax. Hundreds gathered in Dam Square on Sunday, protesting the war on Gaza and defying the demonstration ban.
Amsterdam police arrest pro-Palestinian demonstrators for defying protest ban. Holland put up a 3-day ban saying that no pro-Palestinian protests can go on. But of course that didn't stop anybody, because after all, the pro-Palestinians in Amsterdam were not going to allow Israeli soccer fans to cause this much chaos in their city and get away with it. Of course, the Amsterdam police took it a bit too far with their arrests. They arrested over 50 people. They had helicopters over the very peaceful protest and drones over the protest. The Amsterdam police responded with very unnecessary force. Videos that are surfacing of these cops arresting the protesters are really hard to watch.
5 people were injured and dozens were arrested during Thursday's unrest. Here's what went down.
Zionist hooligans from the Tel Aviv football club, they came to Amsterdam because they had a match against Ajax. As we predicted, they were very violent. They roamed the streets with around 200 people at the same time. They would take down Palestine flags everywhere which they would see them. And we have footage of them singing a song that there are no schools in Gaza anymore because they burned all the children. Simultaneously, they also attacked a cab driver who spoke out against them. We had protesters clashing with the Zionist hooligans. But hey, in Amsterdam, a Zionist hooligan can our streets, can burn down Palestine flags, can sing songs about burning Gaza down. But the moment you respond to them, the riot police emerged. And all of a sudden, all over the news, it was about how the hooligans were harassed by protesters, how it was about religion as well. It was never about religion. There was a clash with them because they're part of a genocide. According to the Zionist playbook, of course, you only focus on the counter-response instead of the context in which it happened. So the media followed the complete narrative of Netanyahu that it was anti-Semitic.
On Sunday, protesters argued they should be free to voice their disapproval of Israel's actions in Gaza and Maccabi supporters' conduct, insisting the protests weren't about anti-Semitism. Some think this is part of a rift that's spreading far and wide.
Just showing you this divergence now between Europe and the United States. Now, I know that's not bringing the United States in directly, but look at the levels of support that Donald Trump, J.D. Vance are giving to the Israelis. Look at the interpersonal relationships between Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu. Now, guys, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this. I'm not saying there's anything right with this. I'm just telling you this is how it is. We're going to see more rhetoric in Europe building. We're going to see more anti-Middle East war rhetoric build up in Europe, while in the United States we're going to be seeing more rhetoric build up for support of Israel in their fight against the global war on whatever it is those guys are fighting for.
Following rising tensions, Israeli citizens have been urged by their government to avoid sports and cultural events abroad, particularly the upcoming football match between France and Israel in Paris on Thursday. Meanwhile, the Israeli military continues its operations in Gaza and Lebanon, with civilians suffering the consequences every minute. Many parts of Lebanon, including Beirut and Baalbek, are under heavy Israeli attack. While Israel claims its strikes only target Hezbollah positions, more than 3,000 Lebanese have been killed since October 2023. And in Gaza, Israel continues to target refugee camps and United Nations-run schools where Palestinians have taken refuge. As famine looms over northern Gaza, the UN Relief and Works Agency is accusing Tel Aviv of using hunger as a weapon. Since October last year, Israel killed over 43,000 Palestinians in the enclave, with children and women making up around 70% of the victims. The Palestinian ambassador to United Nations, Riyad Mansour, says Gaza is the most documented genocide in history. Since the beginning of the onslaught, Palestinians have been recording and sharing their daily turmoil with the world through social media. But one 15-year-old from Gaza has a unique approach. This is his story.
Today I want to tell you about the average morning routine of a Gazan. So they wake up at 4 a.m, then pray Fajr prayer, and instantly after that they rush to their bakery so they can wait in line to get bread.
Meet Yusuf Abu Hatab, a 15-year-old Palestinian who's been documenting day-to-day life in Gaza. What sets him apart from other social media accounts is his style, which you could call tongue-in-cheek. Yusuf talks about his everyday life in Gaza as if it was your average everyday life.
Day one of my winter arc here in Gaza. Last winter did not go as planned. Here's what I'm doing to make this one better. In the morning I went to the street to connect internet so I can upload my YouTube vlog. It was hard setting the cold wind, waiting for this video to upload, but I got it done nonetheless. Then I went back home and got really stressed about winter. None of my winter clothes fit me anymore, and washing my winter clothes is going to be harder because there's no electricity or enough water to use the washing machine. But it's fine, I'll manage.
Even though he shows the serious problems he faces, he presents them in a light-hearted manner, as if they're normal.
At the start of the day, I went around the market 3 times looking for salt, and thank God at the end I found it. Why did I wake up so early on a Friday to get some salt, you may ask? Let's get the battery. That's crazy. Look at the destruction behind me. Let's go.
But of course, Yusuf has days which have no lighter side.
Everything was going normal until I had to take my mother to the hospital for an emergency. I had to wait 30 minutes in the queue, and we went to this medical tent, and one thing that I saw that got me really upset is that there's barely any machinery. Patients were literally waiting in line to use an oxygen tank. How crazy is that? So why did I actually go to the hospital? You know how cleaning products have chloride in them? You see where this is going. She inhaled lots of chloride by accident. I had to rush her to the hospital, but she's okay now. Thank God, alhamdulillah.
Yusuf says he was going to leave Gaza months ago, but the closed border crossing with Egypt has kept him trapped. Despite the grim reality of the ongoing genocide, Yusuf remains hopeful, and he's raising funds for the people of Gaza on a Launch Good website.
The crypto world is buzzing after Donald Trump's presidential election and the pro-crypto candidates' takeover of Congress. Now, Republicans are on the verge of taking the House as well. Gains in cryptocurrencies have been broad, with Bitcoin hitting a record high of over $81,000 on Monday. The world's largest and most popular cryptocurrency has more than doubled from its low in January. Crypto industry advocates spent almost $120 million backing congressional candidates seen likely to support laws favorable to digital assets. Trump, on his part, embraced digital assets during his campaign, promising to make the United States the crypto capital of the world and to accumulate a national stockpile of Bitcoin. Crypto investors also predict an end to stepped-up scrutiny under U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission chair, whom Trump has said he will fire.
Let's list off some reasons why Trump is way better than anyone else to be in office for crypto. Number one, the dude himself runs a crypto NFT project, right? Trump Cards. He built an NFT project on Ethereum. Then during his campaign, he built a crypto token, a legitimate crypto token. If the president himself is doing it, that means we're allowed to do it, right? The key piece here is that we need clear guidelines on what is allowed and what's not allowed in crypto. There's nothing that even says the word like, you know, ERC20 token in the law yet. Like, there's barely any road markings on these roads yet. There's barely any stop signs and proper guidelines.
As the crypto industry looks to a brighter future and perhaps breaking more records, Silicon Valley is on edge. And that's due to Donald Trump's immigration policies. There are fears they could trigger worker shortage on legal immigrants in tech. During Trump's last term, he discontinued some work visa programs which allow tech firms to recruit skilled workers. Immigration was one of Trump's campaign main issues. He's promised to complete the southern border wall and reinstate the famous travel ban that barred people from some predominantly Muslim countries to enter the US. In 2017, many tech workers were left stranded due to this order. As the election season ends in the US, OpenAI disclosed how much voters consulted its artificial intelligence chatbot. The company reports that 2 million people consulted ChatGPT for the 2024 election, while around 250,000 asked for deepfakes featuring the candidates. OpenAI says ChatGPT urged its users to look to the news agencies for election results during the vote count. Additionally, the company claims it implemented necessary precautions, such as directing users to a nonpartisan hub for voting information or clarifying any misunderstandings about the voting process. This marked the first presidential election in which voters turned to AI for information. AI does not stop only at writing or answering existential questions. It also creates art. Ida, the humanoid robot, has made history with its painting that sold at Sotheby's. The painting sold for a hefty price, and it was the first AI artwork sold by a major auction house.
AI robot sold this piece of art for $1 million at the famous auction house Sotheby's. It was originally expected to sell for around $100,000 to $200,000, but it had over 20 competing bids. This artwork was physically painted by an AI humanoid robot. This is not just the prompt you plug into Midjourney. It made 15 paintings in total of Alan Turing, which took around 8 hours to complete. The painting is called AI God, inspired by Alan Turing, who was a pioneer of computer science and AI. Sotheby's said the historic sale launches a new frontier in the global art market, establishing the auction benchmark for artwork by a humanoid robot. Humanoid robot standing here.
Real artists can take a breath. Ada says it's not coming for them just yet. It's probably because Ada cannot create art without human participation.
I do not aim to replace human artists. I aim to inspire viewers to think about how we use AI positively, while remaining conscious of its risks and limitations. The value of my artwork lies in its ability to provoke thought and spark conversations about the complex relationship between technology, humanity, and creativity. The key value of my work is its capacity to serve as a catalyst for dialogue about emerging technologies.
The biggest night in music is almost here, and the Grammy nominations are in. Beyoncé has made history again. With 11 nominations this year, Beyoncé has now become the most nominated artist in Grammy history with 99 career nods. She's already the record holder for most Grammy wins at 32, a number she might push even higher on February 2nd. Beyoncé is not the only one celebrating though. This year's nominations also shine a spotlight on artists like Charli XCX and first-time nominees Ray, Chappell Roan, and Sabrina Carpenter. And of course, there are a few major snubs to discuss. Here's what the internet is talking about.
Charli XCX received more nominations than Taylor Swift at this year's Grammys. Charli with 7 nominations and Taylor with 6. But Cowboy Carter is now the most nominated album in history with 11 nominations.
For the first time ever, Sabrina Carpenter is a Grammy nominee. This short and sweet artist nabbed 6 nominations. This Midwest princess is a first-time Grammy nominee. Chappell Roan earned herself 6 nominations for the 67th Grammy Awards.
Let's talk about the biggest snubs from the Grammy nominations, because there were quite a few. Ariana Grande is the first one. She didn't get a nomination for any of the major categories: record, song, or album of the year.
Ariana Grande's We Can't Be Friends was not nominated at all, which makes no sense.
Dua Lipa has been a Grammys favorite in the past. She is a winner of Best New Artist, but she only picked up 1 nomination, and that was for Best Video for Houdini.
Rolling Stone is going to jail for saying Dua Lipa's noms go Houdini. Hello? So many other amazing albums did get nominated for Album of the Year. Personally, I'm hoping Brat takes it because the effect on culture, even influencing a presidential election, was really crazy.
And that's our show. Find our latest stuff on YouTube and do subscribe to our channel. See you soon.